Carjacking at a gas station in Sylvan Lake is caught on camera. The man who owns the car was nearly run over with it after the attackers took control of the vehicle while he was pumping gas. Local 4 defender Sylvan Lake with more on what happened and an arrest on the other side of the state. Sean, good evening.
Good evening to you, Kimberly. First and foremost, the person behind the wheel of the car carjacking and almost hitting the owner. He's 15 years old. His accomplice in the passenger seat, she is 18. Police were able to use some technology that's on that rather new car to track the car all the way to the west side of the state, more than 130 miles away. 2:45 this morning at a gas station in Sylvan Lake. That is a 15-year-old boy and an 18-year-old girl asking a man to use his phone. The two then see this man leave his Chevy Equinox as he tosses some trash. The teens run to his SUV.
Two suspects jumped into the vehicle and began to drive off.
The driver of the car, he sees this going. What does he do?
He began to run up to the driver's side, started pulling on the handle, and was banging on the window. As the suspects drove off, they actually knocked him to the ground. Luckily, he wasn't seriously injured. He had some, cuts and abrasions, but nothing serious.
People have been killed that way.
Luckily, he wasn't hurt.
Watch again. That man could have been run over, could have been killed by the teens. Sylvan Lake Police Chief Brian Bassett says about 5 hours later, the two teens were arrested by another police agency. That arrest taking place 137 miles away in Kalamazoo.
They must have pretty much driven straight. But once they got into that vehicle, it looks like they headed straight towards the Kalamazoo area.
One key to this, GM's OnStar system able to track that SUV as it was crossing the state.
Were they tracking them the whole time?
They were tracking them as soon as we reached out. They began tracking them, so there was some delay, but it was pretty quickly thereafter.
Back here live, you saw that video. That car could have easily taken an inch turn there and run over the driver. Thankfully, we are told he is doing okay tonight. What about this 15 and 18-year-old? Police say they actually just don't know much about them right now, where they're from, what they were doing out. They're on their way back from the Kalamazoo area to face a long list of charges. They'll learn much more about them when they return. We're in Sylvan Lake tonight. Sean Light, Local 4, back to you.
Yeah, okay.